Good morning. I'm Jenny.
And I'm Nacho.
Welcome to Wake Up with Jenny and Friends. Hello, Nacho.
How you doing, Jenny?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm upright and breathing, so I can't complain.
Well, it's a fabulous Monday morning. Can't complain. I have to tell you, I have to admit, I desperately want to call you Nacho Randy Savage.
You know what? I usually tell you my one bit of advice for anybody: if you want to call me anything, you can call me anything you want except late for dinner.
Yeah, that's it, right?
Yeah.
So, how was your weekend?
Quite eventful.
Yeah.
I've been slaving away in my backyard, building brand new flower beds.
Ooh.
Just hauling dirt and landscaping timbers. With the price of lumber and everything these days,
Tell me about it.
well, what's really surprising is that the landscaping timbers are still at base price, which is almost mind blowing, especially with Memorial Day and everything. Like, it's why hasn't this gone up? You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Well,
saying?
tell
So,
everybody where you're from.
I'm from Detroit, Michigan.
Yeah.
Well, I just say Detroit because if I tell you where I'm from, then everybody's gonna look at me like, what do you mean? So yeah, I'm from Detroit, born and raised here.
Mhm.
Haven't really been out of the state much. Live my life day to day, trying to be the best I can. So
Nice. And you also have a podcast. You just started a podcast, which is very exciting.
yes, it's the Nacho Average podcast.
Love it.
It is live 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube.
I love
Uh,
it.
just a little bit of fun to break up the monotony of the work week. So
Exactly. That's what we're all about here at Wake Up with Jenny and Friends. Just a little bit of humor, fun, and laughs to get you through the work week, and nothing too serious. But I don't know, some of these questions we've had lately. My liability budget's gone out the window.
hey, you know what? The idea is you can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs. So
That's right. You got it. You got it. Well, what is going on in your neck of the woods, and what are you drinking this morning, my friend?
right now I am drinking the NACHO version of Snapple Diet Mango Tea. It's the Aldi version.
Ooh.
So twice the flavor, half the price, I guess you could say.
Oh, I love a good deal. I am a bargain queen.
Oh, I know.
Oh.
The thing is if you don't get the bargain now, you
Mhm.
can't afford another bargain later.
You just gave me an incentive to shop. How much do I love you? This is great. This is the best friendship I've made in the last week.
Well, at the end of the day, you can't take the money to the grave with you.
You cannot.
I
You can.
mean, you have to spend wisely. Yes, of course, you
Mhm.
have to make sure your bills are paid. You have to make sure ends meet, so on and so forth. But I mean, as you can see behind me, I have quite the investment.
You
Um,
do. Tell us about the shoes you've got. For anybody who's just listening and not watching, I am currently being treated to a menagerie of organized shoes in their own plexiglass cases, which organizationally brings me great joy.
so that's the best part was I've invested in these special shoe boxes,
Yeah.
which originally, which is funny, were marketed through Michael's Craft Store
Uh-huh.
as yarn storage boxes. So
Uh-huh.
you can store your yarn, but yet see what color it is and have everything accessible.
Right.
Some sneakerheads just happen to figure out that up to size 13 shoes fit inside these boxes.
Size 13
Um,
is great.
yep. So, but what's crazy now is that they're only marketed now as sneaker boxes through the Container Store.
Oh, okay.
But they're a nice little additional $10 on top of every pair that I own. I have
Mhm.
about 200 pairs behind me. I have a amongst other ones that are all over the floor and throughout my home. I have special ones that I've literally only worn once or twice. I have a
Wow.
collection of my son's shoes from him. You know, he's only 3 now, but I have a yearly uh, tradition I've started is that
Mhm.
every year on his birthday, I purchase him a Michael Jordan Retro 1 shoe,
Oh,
which was the
wow.
shoe that he wore as a rookie in the 84-85 season. Me being born in 1985, that's one of my favorite shoes of all time. So it's just one of those things to like the connection to keep going. But yeah,
Very
so I
nice.
have amongst 200 pairs of shoes. I have anything from, shoes that Michael Jordan wore, LeBron James. I have King Griffey
Wow.
Juniors, Grant Hills. I mean, anything. And then I have stuff as simple as, Chuck Taylor Converse All Stars, just, simple, but it's to me, shoes are walking art. You get to wear, it's art that you can wear on your feet.
Where did that fascination for trainers come from? Because they're gorgeous, by the way. They're in mint condition.
I, growing up, I played sports. So I got one pair of shoes for school. And then
Yeah.
if I needed special shoes for, playing sports, I got those. And that was it. I was very envious of all the kids at school who would leave school and go get the brand new Jordans and then come back and this, that, and the other. And it was something that I always wanted. And it was something that I always said to myself, when I have my own job and I can live on my own and something that I can afford, it's something I'm going to start collecting. And then immediately after I graduated college, I was struggling for work as every college student does.
Uh-huh.
So I started working retail and I got a job at Foot Locker, which led to a
Perfect.
discount, and then which led to the collecting starting. And then it was just an avalanche after that, where I had shoes on top of shoes on top of shoes.
Wow.
And just recently, after I finished building the office in which I'm sitting in, I donated, I think, about 40 pairs.
Oh, that's so
Um,
great.
well, it's just over the years, sometimes I fall in love with them. I'll wear them once or twice,
Yeah.
and then yet they still are in mint condition. And then just because they meant something to me, they
Yeah.
may not mean something to the rest of the sneakerhead community. So they then don't really have any value. But I
Mhm.
know people are in need, so they are valued to them. So there's no point in me struggling to try and make a dollar if I can make somebody's day by giving them something that they need.
Oh, that's so great. I love that you do that. That's so awesome. It's a great way to give back and still support your passion, but
Mm,
give a little something back to the community. That's
of
awesome.
course.
That's so great. Well, my weekend was jam-packed. Just working with some publishers. I've written a few books, so getting those finished up and waiting for the publishers to come back. So that's been very exciting.
Yes.
It's been gorgeous weather here. Absolutely gorgeous weather here. So I've been enjoying the outdoors quite a bit, feeling the sun on the cheeks, as they say. And I'm for those who know me, I'm quite cheeky. But it's been a busy weekend. I am drinking my iced coffee in my back the fuck up Carol mug.
Yeah, I couldn't say it better myself.
Yeah, right? Yeah. God, that Carol is a tricky one, isn't she?
Yes, she is.
Did you watch that, The Tiger Kings? Did you
Of
watch that?
course I did.
Oh my gosh. I
And
had to take a break. It was just so
I
ludicrous.
was fully in depth into it. I love it. I still
Were you?
I love Joe Exotic, and I've been keeping up with the stories as of late. They just had a bunch of their big cats removed from the Wynwood uh, Tiger Show.
Wow.
Basically, they wouldn't, from what I've read, they wouldn't invest in proper medical care for the animals.
Mm,
So in turn, basically, because they wanted to just get rid of the establishment, and
right,
in
sure.
order to not have to go through the issue of selling it, they just said, okay, well, we're just not going to do what we need to do. So everything just gets removed from us and take the
Right.
L. Well, because I mean, if you watch the documentary, they basically kind of stole it out from under Joe Exotic. At least that's the way it was portrayed,
Mm,
So it was one of those things where they kind of just cut their losses, but also they've been building a new park apparently with other people somewhere else. So it's like they're still going to be in business somewhere else and still, padding their pockets. But
crazy, crazy. What do you make of that Carol? You think she killed her ex-husband? What
yep,
do you think? You do?
hands
You
down,
do? You
hands
think
down.
she threw a bunch of sardines on him and
I don't know.
and
I don't know if that's the way she did it, but she had something to do with it. And here, the thing is I hate to put it this way, but this is from my criminal justice background, is everybody is guilty of something. It's just
oh,
when
well,
you
that's
get
just
caught.
facts. Yeah.
I mean, and the old adage or joke, if I don't sin, Jesus would have died for nothing.
Okie dokie.
But that's what people, I mean, the thing is, I mean,
Gonna
here's
go
the
pee.
deal. I've got a one-way ticket to hell. My seat's reserved.
It's reserved.
It's reserved. It's got a nice placard on it. It says, Nachos ass, place it here.
Yeah.
Uh, but I mean, I don't believe everybody should sin, but nobody's perfect in the world. And that's
Nobody.
the thing is, um, everybody who tries to claim that they're perfect, I hate to put it this way, they're more fucked up than the next.
Probably very true. Probably
Hmm.
very. It
So,
was an interesting documentary, that's for sure.
mhm.
We have a very exciting show today.
I'm
I'm
excited.
I'm excited about this lineup. We're going to talk about, hence the nachos. We're going to talk about the best toppings for nachos.
Okay.
And I would love to know where the name nacho came from, by the way.
So, long story short, as of the 17th of this month, I've been on TikTok for 1 full year creating content. I was on it a little bit before that, watching content when the pandemic started.
Yeah.
I was stuck at home with a 2 year old, and it was literally my escape. Like, I would
Mhm.
zone out and just watch videos. And then it came to a point where I was still, user 4,697,000,
Yeah.
whatever it may be.
Yeah.
It's just scrolling through watching videos.
Using it.
And all of a sudden, one day I seen a super simple video and I was like, oh, I can recreate that. I can make it my own.
Hmm.
And, I had no idea what I was doing. And I actually had a friend who's a teacher in Florida. She was on TikTok, and she still currently is, but she's not as immersed into it as I am. But we did a couple TikToks together, and it started from there. So finally, I was like, all my life, I tend to claim myself as a jack of all trades and a master of none. So
Uh-huh.
I'm not your average person. Well, I'm a
Yeah.
dad. So I was like, okay, so I went with the idea that I will make my handle was not your average dad.
Nice.
So I was with that for a while, and then it kind of just stuck. Anytime I would go into people's lives, or people would just refer to me as Nacho,
Hmm.
and it's kind of stuck since then. So I've embraced it. It's one of those things where it's just like, okay, well, this is meant to be. I'm not going to fight it. Embrace it. So after
Embrace the
that,
nacho.
well, yeah, and then after a while, I've sat and looked, and it's like, I'm not saying being a dad is always being wholesome, but a lot of my content that I make isn't dad-esque per se.
Okay.
So I dropped the Nacho Average Dad, wanted to run with the Nacho, and the idea of now my handle being that dot Nacho is when people say, "Oh, you're that Nacho."
Right.
Yes, I'm that
Well, there you
Nacho.
go. There it comes. Well, I love that story. It's very exciting. It's funny how we all, kind of get nicknames as we go throughout life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a very big I don't think I call anybody by their real name. Anybody that's close to me, I don't think I refer to them by their real full legal name at all. They all have a short form or a nickname or something that I've given them. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's how you know we're close.
Oh yeah.
If I don't
I mean,
call you by your real name, we're close.
that's the only way to be. And it's funny, for the longest time, and even before I started going by Nacho most of the time,
Yeah,
everybody always knew me as my real life nickname.
yeah,
Nobody ever really knew me by my government given name.
yeah.
So it's one of those things is, even today when I go to places and people see me, they still refer to me as my nickname, and most people don't even know my real name. So,
Yeah, there you go. Well, moving on with the show, we're going to talk about rewriting movie endings.
okay.
We have our famous three-question draw. Um, and we're going to discuss a little tete-a-tete. We are going to talk about cartoon battles and who would win what. And I'm very excited about this because I'm a big 80s buff, big fan of 80s cartoons. So I'm intrigued to see what you have on your list.
Okay.
So let's start it off with the nachos. What is on your list for the 5 best nacho toppings?
Well, hands down, it's the guac.
Oh, yeah.
The guac is extra, but it's always worth it. And you
Mm,
can use that in any aspect of life.
yeah.
The guac is that little bit of a thing that is the best part, to be honest.
Hmm.
It always costs extra. You go anywhere, oh, I want some guacamole. Oh, we're going to have to charge you this much, but it's always worth it. Like, it makes it that much better.
Hmm.
So hands down,
I can't
guacamole.
fathom anyone not loving guac. It just doesn't make sense to my brain.
But even to a point, I prefer guacamole, and I know it has additives in it, so on and so forth, over avocado. Just plain avocado. Not that I don't like avocado,
Yeah.
but like when it comes to like avocado on, say, on a burger or something like that, I'm always like, okay,
Mm.
I'll take the avocado off. Can I add guacamole? They're like, it's the same thing. I'm like, no, it is not.
No, it's not. How dare you?
It is absolutely not. And I will look at them. I'll give them that look of like, are you speaking a different language? So well, so yeah, guac hands down is number one for me.
Uh-huh.
Number two, jalapenos.
Oh, yes.
The more, the better.
Yeah.
Even the idea of when I go to Taco Bell, if I go to any sort of Mexican restaurant, anything, the idea is, can you put extra jalapenos on it? And they'll like, okay, you do know it's gonna be hot. And I'm like, yes, but I would like you to put as many on there that you can put on there. That even if you've got to charge me, that's fine, but with enough that you don't get fired.
Just you're the only one getting fired.
Right, like the idea is I want enough jalapenos that I need to eat ice cream after this, so that way when I'm using the bathroom later, it's like, oh, come on, ice cream.
God bless your asshole.
Yes. So yes, guac, jalapenos. Next would be black olives.
Fuck yes.
Black olives are amazing.
Yes.
And that's the funny part is like I literally just made nachos the other night, and I'm sitting there, I'm sitting at the plate, and I'm like, what's missing? What's missing? What's missing? What's missing? And I'm looking, and I'm like, black olives. And it's one of those things that not everybody puts on there.
Yeah.
But when they are on there, it's that much better.
So good. Yeah.
So after black olives, simple enough, tomatoes, cherry tomatoes.
Okay.
Not
tomatoes. Ooh.
Cherry tomatoes sliced in half.
Interessante.
So, and I don't know why. It's just for me, it provides a little bit of a different taste.
They're a little sweeter.
Yes. So that brings us to 4, which then my other one, I put it at 5, but honestly, to me, it's number 1, but it can be used on many things. But it's specifically for this one, it has to be Mexican hot sauce. And not everybody really considers that the topping because it's to everybody's taste.
Think about that.
But hot sauce has to go on it. To me, again, the hotter, the better. I love it when I can take a bite of something, and I'm bald. This is my toupee.
Well, that's because of all the jalapenos.
Exactly. But one of the things is I enjoy it when I bite into something and I can feel what used to be hair follicles on the top of my head tingling. Yes. And I love that feeling where, and people, I will sit there and I'll be eating with them and they'll be like, are you okay? Like you're so red. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm like, what shade am I? Am I like dog dick red or what? Like, that's like the reddest of reds. Cause if I reach that point, then we have a problem. But as long as I'm not dog dick red, we're good.
I don't. So the hot peppers, the jalapeno peppers, the hot sauce.
Yep.
I mean, you have a desire to incinerate your asshole. Really, it's what.
Yeah.
It's what you're going for.
So
complete annihilation.
Well, a few years ago, like I went through a major weight loss, and I've actually put some weight back on. It happens. Everybody goes up and down. It is what it is. But one of the things that got me through that was hot sauce. Was because a lot of the food that you should be eating is unflavorful.
Okay.
Not that it's bad for you, it's good for you. That's the point of you having to eat it. But the idea is I need something to bring life to it. And Frank's Red Hot, Valentino, Cholula, just anything and everything that I can imagine. If it was hot sauce, I threw it on there. Like,
oh my gosh, we should have done a hot ones episode.
Oh, I love that show. I love that show.
I have a hot ones planned. But we should maybe do a trio episode later and kick it up a notch. You in?
Oh, for sure. Hands down.
It's on like Donkey Kong. Well, I have to tell you, I love nachos. It's one of my favorite meals to make, aside from salad, which I eat every day and I can eat every day, and I have eaten every day since I was born. I love nachos. I'm gonna open up a business. I'm gonna call it the Nachoria.
Should. Well, that's the best part about nachos.
Yeah.
Because everybody loves tacos. Taco Tuesday, right? But
Taco.
what happens,
But
right? But after a while, it gets played out, right?
it does.
So, and you say you
Tacos are,
decide you want to celebrate Taco Tuesday.
yeah.
You go into the cupboard, you grab what you think is tortilla shells,
Mhm.
but they got smashed, and now you have nachos.
Yes.
You're still in business.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. Well, we have a lot of the same favorites for nachos, but now I have to mention for those who don't know, I'm vegan, so everything I make is vegan. So when I say the ingredients, I mean the vegan version of them. So don't fucking email me, don't at me. Is that vegan? Yes, it is. Um, but this is how I make my nachos. Number one for sure, yeah, got to be the black olives. Got to have
Okay.
that on there. Hot peppers, so jalapenos or the banana peppers, I
Okay.
love. Those are good too. I love
Mhm.
those. Um, gotta have like I love a good crumble on the nachos. So I
Mhm.
use lentils, like
Hmm.
brown lentils, and I mash them up a little bit, and it like simulates the ground beef for me
Okay.
on nachos, which is really, really tasty. It's really good. And it's like super healthy too. So it's high fiber, it's filling. So it's like you can really have a meal out of nachos, right? It's really, really good. Then I gotta have the cheese, the mozzarella, the mozzarella cheese on top. Oh my gosh, it kills it. And there's some really, really good vegan cheeses out there now.
Mhm.
So, I mean, there's no excuse. Faux show. And then on top of it, again, I have to agree with you wholeheartedly, the guac. And I make my own guac.
Okay.
So I do the avocados, the lime. I know some people like to put onions in it. I'm not a big, huge fan of onions, but the tomatoes, the diced
Mhm.
tomatoes, and make my own guac with some spices. So, gotta have the guac. Ultimate, ultimate, ultimate nachos.
I agree with you on the onion piece. The onion piece can either enhance it or ruin the guac.
I just find it
And
overpowers it.
that's what I'm saying. But if you get the right onion and like use it sparingly, and if
Hmm.
it's like super diced, where it's almost to a point where it's non-existent, but it's still there,
Hmm.
like I said, it'll enhance it, not overpower it and ruin it completely.
Yeah, maybe like a shallot or like a Vidalia onion, but just a
Yep.
little tiny bit. It's not
Hmm.
too bad, but yeah, I steer clear of the onions. But yeah. Um, speaking of outings and food, what are your three ultimate family activities? We've got summer coming up, and people are getting outside. What are your ultimate family activities?
So we like to go to the beach a lot.
Oh,
Being here
you
in
have some
Michigan,
nice beaches near you too, right, in Michigan?
yes, we're surrounded by the five Great
Right.
Lakes, so you can't have a bad. And here's the deal: I will tell you hands down, people from Florida, up the
Mm,
East Coast, I guarantee our Michigan summers will compete specifically like at the beaches with any of those that you can go to on the coast, down in Florida, California, this, that, and the other, and
really?
it's all fresh water.
Wow.
So, I mean, you get the same amount of sun, you get the same aspect. You don't have to, worry about any sharks or anything like that.
Yep.
But it's like I said, it's all fresh water, and like I'm literally less than a 20-minute drive from Lake Huron.
Oh, wow.
So, and then even that, we have what is known as Lake St. Clair, which is like
Mhm,
the big lake that separates almost us from Canada,
mhm.
besides the Detroit River. And that's a beautiful lake in itself. So it's one of those things where going to the beach is a big thing, um, which then leads into,
And is the water safe to swim in? It's
oh
like
yeah, hmm,
yeah, it's totally like the water quality, like it's not
yes, it's not the
like
Flint water
okay.
situation
Okay.
that everybody's heard, which is a giant debacle, and there are still many people that need to be brought to justice on that.
Mm,
That's neither here nor there. But and then even the Detroit River, no, you don't swim the Detroit River, hands down, you don't. But all
mhm.
of the Great Lakes and then like Lake St. Clair, they are good to go and you can swim in them.
Wow, very, very nice. Very nice.
The next that leads into that is while you're at the beach, and these, like, it's funny, all three of these actually go hand in hand. They all just
Mhm,
lead one right into the next.
mhm.
Is barbecuing. I love grilling out. I
Mm.
love making food for a bunch of people. Just seeing everybody happy. I mean, that leads to, having a few drinks, this, that, and the other, but specifically going to the beach, cooking out for everybody, having basically a picnic, it gives you that quality time with everybody. Um, and you get to experience things with people that you normally wouldn't. And like I said, everybody thinks, Michigan/Detroit, it's the Motor City, it's all about cars,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But you go to the edges again, there were two peninsulas that are just completely surrounded by water, and we have these beautiful lakes, that you have access to,
Hmm.
and you can't beat them. But then the last one, after you sit and you've been at the beach all day, stomach's full, got a couple drinks in you, is bonfires. We have
Oh, yeah. I
just sitting back by the
love a good
bonfires,
fire. Hmm.
because with the state of Michigan, we have an old saying. I know a lot of people say this throughout, you know, the United States and other states, but I tend to think that it holds more in Michigan. That is, if you don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes, it'll change. And
Okay.
but it's the truth. Like
Yeah.
there will be a day like today. Okay, yesterday it was over 90 degrees out.
Oh my gosh.
Today
Hmm.
we're in the low 60s.
Oh, that's quite the drop.
Right, but it's even been
Yeah.
to a point where one day we'll have 80-degree weather and the next day it'll be snowing.
Oh my gosh. So
So
so it's like Dante says, he's like, you can like water your lawn and shovel your driveway at the same time.
yeah, it has happened that way. There's been days where I've had to go out and shovel, and then by the end of the night, it's all been melted and evaporated like it never even took place.
That's crazy. That's insane.
So that's one of the things that's, after a nice hot day at the beach and time to relax, put your feet up, continue with the drinking a little bit, make some s'mores, but then you all get to, huddle around a nice bonfire, more conversation, more stories, and it's just like it's just a nonstop party from beginning to end throughout an entire day.
I love that. I love that. Well, I have a similar theme, slightly different though. My first one is camping. I love camping. Just went camping not too long ago. Um,
So I have a question about that.
yeah.
So you like to spend a mini fortune to live poor?
I'd like to spend a mini fortune to live
Fortune to
poor.
live
It's
poor.
not expensive to camp.
Now, are you camping or are you glamping? That's
No,
the
no,
real
no,
question.
no, 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 no. I said camping.
Okay, I'm just making sure,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
there's a lot
yeah.
of people who
Oh,
use
no,
the
no,
word
no. No, we
that
don't
term
do no.
camping
No,
very
no, no.
loosely.
No, yeah, sorry. I know I'm gonna get flack for this, but you ain't a real woman if you can't camp.
You got to be able to rough it.
You have to be able to rough it, and those are good skills. You there so various times of my life, especially if I get really overwhelmed or stressed, I will just take off and go into the bush for like a day or two or
Mhm.
overnight, and I will just get grounded, stay outside, spend the day, um, and just clear my head. And it's a really great way to come back to center and to ground yourself and really kind of like empty out all the madness that's in your head and just be one with nature.
Mhm.
But those are really good skills to learn for anybody, how to survive off the land, how to you know be alone in the woods for a night or two.
Oh,
um
I wholeheartedly agree. I
yeah.
enjoy when people use, "Oh, we went camping." Oh, so or let's go camping. Okay, so what do you want to do? Let's do this. Like, let's set a game plan. Where do you want to go? We can,
Mhm.
even if it's finding a campground. I agree that to me is going to
Yeah,
actually living off the
campground's
land.
okay. Campground's okay.
But when you sit and try and figure out all these giant elaborate meals, I'm like, no, let's get a jar of peanut butter and a jar of jelly, and a couple loaves of bread, and we'll survive. Like, that's all you need. Like
Yeah.
I said, other than that, let's catch, eat, and then go from there. But other than that, like,
Mhm.
let's live off peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, there's nothing wrong with glamping if that's your thing, and
Right.
it's every once in a while. I'm sure it's fun, and it can be nice to stay in like a nice like log cabin or like it's I'm all about the experience, so I wouldn't turn
Mhm.
it down. I'm just saying when I go camping, I go camping. Yeah.
Oh, I agree. It's like that. I think it's the campground. It's called KOA.
Mhm.
Their motto is, "It's not camping, it's camping."
Yeah, exactly. Next on my list would be a family vacation would be a theme park vacation, and not just going to any theme park, but like going to a different like city or country that has a theme park and staying there, like to really get the full, you know, the
Mm.
full like effect of it, right? The
It,
full
it
experience.
I've gone on one recently. My brother
Uh-huh.
took it was a my brother wanted to have almost like a family reunion between our family and his wife's family and just have a big gathering,
Mhm.
have a big Christmas celebration at Disney World.
Oh, nice.
Uh, and the one of the big things was this was our, our gift from him for our
Mhm.
birthdays and Christmas. It's like, okay. And it's all the only thing we had to do is pay for our flight. Okay, sounds good.
Nice.
Awesome. So we went and we stayed, it was at Disney World, and we stayed at Port Orleans, which is the themed hotel of Princess and the Frog.
Okay.
So it was awesome. And again, even like yesterday, I was talking to a coworker and he's trying to book a trip for his family. And I was like, we can figure something out. My brother's done this quite a few times where he's booked, a bunch of trips. Staying on the grounds
Mhm.
of the amusement park or, resort is a whole different experience compared than driving in from a random hotel.
Yeah, it totally is.
You're living in this dream
Mhm.
world.
Yeah.
Um,
It really is a dream. Yes, it's a dream world.
and
Like,
it's
even
to
for adults, it just does something to you. Disneyland and Disney World just does something to you as an adult. Like,
Mhm,
I remember last time I haven't been there for a while, but I remember last time I went there, I went as an adult. I went probably about 8 or 10 years ago.
mhm,
And I shit you not, I went through those gates, and the second I saw the castle,
mhm.
I started to tear up.
So I have a very similar story. I never had made it to Disney World until I was 30 years old.
Uh-huh.
So wait, no, no, yeah, I was 30 years old.
Mhm.
Long story short, I'd never been there. My
Yeah.
parents growing up said like it was something we could never afford. So it was something
Yep.
that I never thought in a million years that I would ever do.
Mhm.
So when I finally went, I at that point I built up this like guard or this wall against it that like fuck it, I don't care. I'm never going to Disney World. It don't
Yeah.
fucking matter to me. It's just a stupid fucking kids park. I don't give a shit. I literally walked in and it was that moment. I had this rush of emotion over me.
Yep.
Like I'm just totally immersed in it. I'm looking around like, oh my gosh, like this is actually real. Like
Mhm.
it's not just photos or folklore. Like it's not shit that you just read in a book. This is actually real life. And I just couldn't control myself that I
Yep.
literally started bawling my eyes out.
Yep.
And the group of people I'm with, they're like, hey, are you okay? I'm like, I just never thought I'd ever be here. This is so fucking
It's
amazing.
so true, though. It's so true, and I legit lined up to see Mickey Mouse and, like, get a picture with Mickey Mouse because I was like, "I am not." I mean, I'm a grown ass woman. I'm not leaving here without a picture with Mickey Mouse. Like, hello.
Oh, and one of the things that now experiencing that I'm a parent, and when we went with my brother and
Mhm.
all of our family, just seeing it from a standpoint of a parent, like to me, I'm very cautious of what my child does. So it's
Right.
one of those things like I'm watching and I'm trying to stand back, this, that, and the other. And he's going out and dancing. So I'm like trying to like make sure and reel him in if he's doing something he
Mm.
shouldn't, but just how they embrace the children. And it's
Yeah.
all about the
Yes.
kids. And that was to me, it was a whole different experience that I now enjoyed getting to see the happiness and the joy and the laughter coming
Mm.
out of my son. And it was one thing going and meeting the characters and how he knows each one, but
Yep.
seeing that experience as a family vacation and seeing how he may not remember it now, but he
Yep.
knows that we're going here in a few months when it's his birthday. And because every day he'll be like, we're going to Mickey's house. I'm like, oh
Aw.
no, not today. He goes, no, my birthday, we're going. It's like,
It's so
yeah, we'll
incredible to
go.
see through a child's eyes. It's so
Mm,
incredible to see that and experience that. It's amazing. I would
yes.
love to go back there with kids and just have them just watch them experience it all. It'd be
Yes,
amazing.
it's a whole different experience compared to experiencing it yourself.
Yeah. Speaking of family, and doing things together, my last one on my list would be a backyard obstacle course. Just like set up, like the ramps and the tires
Mhm.
and the ropes and the whatever, and just do that for the day, like have a family fun day. That would be so fun.
That would be exciting.
Yeah, so I love that because you don't always have to go away to have like, a family experience. So just like there's lots of stuff you can do at home. So many activities.
Yes, so much room for activities.
So much room for activities. Exactly. That's a line from a movie, by the way. Step Brothers.
Hmm. Yep.
Great movie.
Yes.
Speaking of movies, what movie would you love to rewrite the ending to?
See, that's something that's really difficult for me. Like I'm very immersed into movies. I love
Yeah.
movies.
Hmm.
Are they all great? No. Are there terrible ones that I love to watch? Yes. But it's really hard to think. Uh, like a lot of people say they want to change the ending of Avengers Endgame,
Mm.
Tony Stark not die and this, that, and the other. That I will admit that's the movie I cried the hardest at. I was literally in the theater sitting there, it all went down. I'm bawling my eyes out. Um, and all of a sudden this random woman to the left of me is like, here, you need these more than I do, and hands me a bunch of tissue. And I'm just sitting there, this giant 6'4", 300+ pound man, just bawling my eyes out because Tony Stark just died. It was it was
Yeah, it
one of
was
the
a
worst days of my
moment.
life. It was the worst days of my life.
It changed your life.
It did. It changed my life forever.
So you would rewrite the ending to that movie?
I I wouldn't rewrite it. I do. There was a deleted ending or an
Mhm,
alternate ending that they had, and I would say if to make it better, Tony
mhm.
would still go through everything he went through. He would end up passing away. The fact that they said there were so many ways that it could have panned out, but there was only one way that it would end properly, and that's why Doctor Strange
Yeah.
brought Pepper Potts there, so on and so forth. I would end it with that alternate ending where basically everybody took a knee,
Oh,
basically saluting Tony
yeah.
and what he did to save the universe.
Hmm.
I love that alternate ending. So I don't want to say I'm rewriting it, but that's the ending I would have preferred to have seen. And
Okay,
I think it would
okay.
have been so much more impactful
Mhm.
than what it was. I still probably would have cried like a baby. And I can go watch it tonight and I'll still cry. It's one of those things where it just hits me in the heart. So
Aw. Uh, for me, it would be Titanic.
so you're gonna rewrite actual history.
Well, now I'm gonna refer to a part of the movie. I would
Is it that
rewrite
damn door?
I
That door?
I would rewrite the ending of Titanic, and I would oh god, I would tell Rose to move her fat ass
Yep.
over and let Jack on the freaking door, on the
Yes.
boat, on
I,
the life-saving raft that
No,
saved
here's
her.
the deal. Don't get me wrong. And I say you always need to respect a woman. I'm not saying you should ever disrespect a woman. But I'm laying here and I've already devoutedly told you my love for you. I'd be like, bitch, move your ass.
Right?
Like, you need
Right.
to slide the fuck over. We can spoon. Hell, I'll be the little spoon. I don't give a shit. Let me get on that fucking door and we'll both live. And then we can go get it in after we warm up and make these babies.
I mean I mean, that kind of love only comes along once in a lifetime. And I was like, so what you're telling me is you find the love of your life and you're going to hold his hand while he's in the ice cold water? Are you the worst woman in the world? Cuz it kind of looks like that. I
Right.
mean,
Oh, I agree. Like it was and the seeing the images now that people have like actually like laid it out and shown like there's like 5 or 6 different ways they could fit on the fucking door together. Like
if I found the love of my life, I'm just saying I'd move over.
I mean, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like
Just
if
saying.
you love and care about this person, All right, yeah, I guess I can find a room for you. You're only Leonardo the fucking Caprio. Like, I
Right?
guess he
Oh,
wanted to draw you like one of his pretty French girls.
oh my God. He wanted to love her.
Yeah,
Nacho. He wanted to love her.
yeah. And guess
Who
what? He
doesn't
loved her
want
ass all the
to
way to the
love?
bottom of the ocean.
Well, hopefully he snuggled up to that blue diamond.
And that was another thing. You went from Kate Winslet, and
Mm.
I'm glad they've taken time to find better actors, not better actors, just people that maybe resemble one another. And thank God for CGI now. But you went from Kate Winslet to the fucking Crypt Keeper. Like, I'm not gonna say that she just you picked two different ends of the spectrum and made her not age well at all. So you
Oh,
definitely made her look like she
oh,
fucking regretted not bringing his ass on the fucking door. So I guess, maybe
oh.
you did a good job.
Who would not regret that? Oh my gosh. I can't.
You
It
know
was
what? But
unfathomable to me that that was the like that broke my, I think I was like, how old would I have been? I was like, I don't know, 17 at the time when that movie came out. And I just like, I remember sitting there watching that. I was with my best friend from high school at the time and we were watching that. And similar to your story, I, so I was like, I've always been one of the guys. All my friends were guys growing up. Most of them are still today. I'm always just one of the guys. And so this is like one of my only girlfriends that I had in,
mm,
growing up. And so of course I'm watching this movie and I'm trying to be all tough and everything. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna cry. This is not really a sad movie. And all of a sudden I see this wafting of a Kleenex come my way. My friend's sitting there crying and she's drying her eyes and going like this with the Kleenex, passing them to me. And I'm like, how could she? He loves her.
see, if it was Ryan Reynolds though, I definitely would have moved over.
Oh God.
Ryan Reynolds, he's a dreamboat.
Oh, you and Ryan Reynolds, I tell you.
Have you seen that man in Amityville Horror?
Yeah, I have.
Oh my god! Like, I had to question myself after seeing that movie.
Tall drink of water.
Because he brings he's just straight chiseled, and I'm just like, okay, man's got it going on. Good job. And then all of a sudden he's got the beard too, and it's just like,
Mhm.
oh, all right.
I have to say I am a big fan of a dad bod. I do enjoy a dad bod, but I will agree with you. Ryan Reynolds in that movie. I mean,
Mm.
I wasn't mad at it.
Nope, not me. And
Nope.
especially those low riding pajama pants.
With the V cuts. Mm.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Uh, let's move on to our 3-question draw.
Oh,
Oh, my first question for you, sir. Favorite band of all time? Go.
Limp Biscuit.
I could see that with you. You kind of
I
resemble what's his face?
Fred Durst.
Fred Durst.
Yep.
You get that a lot, I'm
I
sure.
grew up loving Limp Bizkit. Like, it was my favorite band of all time. Um, and it wasn't until about 5 years ago that I actually got to see them in concert for the first
Ooh.
time. So it was almost like, I want to say, like a reunion tour. It was a smaller venue here in Detroit,
Yeah.
which is actually an old church, but it was amazing. Like, it was, and I think it was just because of my love for them so much, but it was just the best concert that I've ever been to. The song Break
Oh.
Stuff came on. I just happened to had gone down to take a piss and grab a beer.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I hear that boom, boom. I rushed the stage, got right to the barricade,
Yeah.
and I just went nuts in the mosh pit. I was good to go, and then went back up to the upper deck and enjoyed the rest of the show afterwards. But it was just the
Oh.
best show that I ever been to.
Best show. The best show I've ever seen, and did I just say saw? Hello, what's wrong with me? Grammatical error. Sorry, I'm a stickler for grammar. So.
Hey, you know what? It's not that bad though. So, like, I'm infamous. Like, I have a small little group of friends that we all met on TikTok that we talk. I have a group chat on Instagram.
Uh-huh.
So, which is kind of nice. So we all just have a lot of banter going back and forth. And literally, it's just been like nonstop since last July. Like, we've just been every single day we talk. We sit there, we bust each other's balls, everything. But all of us are kind of infamous for we'll sit there and we'll do a voice note.
Uh-huh.
And I'll tell you, I'm more infamous than anybody else. I will say like LOL,
Oh,
thinking that I'm doing the text speech where it'll then just say it, but I'm actually making a voice note, and then I'll send it, and they're like, "Did you literally just out loud say LOL?"
I
Yeah, dude.
mean, I might as well have just added an ass onto anything I said. It's so bad. But believe it or not, the best concert I've ever seen was Stomp and Tom.
I've never heard of them.
What?
That's fine. And here's the deal.
Excuse me. Do you want to rethink that one?
I have never heard of them.
Oh, you
Uh,
signed too. Nice.
yes. Um, one thing about Nacho is I own my shit. If I don't know something or something, I
Uh-huh.
do something, I own it. Like if I don't know something, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Stomp and Tom,
Okay.
look him up. Oh my gosh, one of the best concerts. I saw him in North Bay with that same friend from high school.
Mm.
Every year we would go to North Bay for the summer. They would put on a summer concert series. Um, we saw a bunch of great concerts there, but yeah, that was one of the best. And I've seen many, many concerts. I was a massive concert goer too. So, but yeah. Question number 2 for you, sir.
Okay.
Who is your and you may have just already answered this, but who is your ultimate celebrity crush?
Oh, it's Ryan Reynolds, hands down. I would fillet that man without question.
Oh my god, morning show, Nacho. Morning show.
Morning show, morning wood. What's the difference?
That's the show, folks.
All right. See you guys later.
Thanks for joining. Oh my god. Budget what?
I told you
Insurance who?
you were gonna have some issues if you had me on. I tried to warn you, but
Did
you
I
didn't listen.
No.
No, but Ryan Reynolds, and it's honestly, and yeah, he's a very attractive man, but again, it's one of those situations where it's his humor that gets me, that makes
Yes.
him
Oh
that much more
gosh, he's so
attractive.
funny. I love his sense of
Mm.
humor. Do you have a female celebrity crush?
Let's start the list. Where's my Rolodex at? I don't know, not specifically.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Here's the deal, and everybody's always, do you have a type, this, that, and the other. Like, to
Mm.
me, when it comes to women, it's one of those situations where like everybody has their own key feature, you
Mhm.
know,
So you look for someone who has a
dating and so
job.
on and so. Sometimes they don't have to have a job, they can live in a van down by the river.
In a van
You
down
know,
by
down by the river.
Chris.
But if I had to pick one, like right now, that's like in my mind, that's,
Mhm.
I guess popular, I guess I would have to go to Ryan Reynolds' Sloppy Seconds with Scarlett Johansson.
Really? Oh, I didn't
Mhm.
see that one coming. Interessante. Hmm.
Uh,
I was like,
I
please
have a
don't say
thing.
Jennifer Aniston. Please don't say Jennifer Aniston.
No, like, don't get me wrong, she's hot, and it's amazing that she looks as good as she does for her age,
Yeah.
but she just doesn't like, she doesn't
She's
tickle my
slightly
willy.
annoying to me. She's
Yeah,
slightly annoying to me.
she does not make my boat float.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, yeah. I hear you. Uh, if you were in a fight with a life-size gingerbread man, where would you strike first?
well, I mean, a life-size gingerbread man.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
First off, you went with the ginger piece. Like, I'm like, okay, so now is she like throwing shade at me or what?
No.
Uh, where would I strike first? I mean, because he doesn't have a piss pump, so I can't kick him there.
What is
Um,
happening?
so I don't know. I would probably just have to hit him right in the buttons, like his candy buttons. I'd have to hit him right in the buttons. Like that's
Yes. I'd go for the buttons.
that's the only idea I can think of, because I'm like, where do I aim? Like, and that's a pinpoint, so I guess I aim at the pinpoint. So yeah, I'd have to hit him right in the buttons.
Not my buttons. Not my gumdrop buttons.
Yep.
I love it. I love it. Uh, you have some questions for me?
Yes, I
Go
do.
ahead.
So if you were to be reincarnated
Oh fuck. Who'd want to give me a second chance? Yeah.
as I don't want to say inanimate object, but not as another human being. So any object in the world, but you were reincarnated as that, what would you be and why?
So it could be inanimate or animal. or
No, inanimate. So
in it?
like
Okay. So just an
anything.
object.
Yes, an object.
If I were to come back as an object. Well, I seem to be objectified by a lot of men anyway, so it should be easy.
And that's the shameful part. And
can't
that is
can't
where
find the
men
one that sticks around.
drive me fucking bonkers. Like don't get me wrong, the dating game, it's a game. It is a game. But there's a way to fucking play it with some class.
I say don't play it at all. Just be genuine and
Well, that's what I'm
move out
saying.
with your life
That's how
partner
you
and have
have to
fun.
play it though.
Fuck sakes. But if I had to come
But
back as an object, let me see. I would come back as a Rubik's Cube.
why a Rubik's Cube?
Um, I like to be diverse. I enjoy having a little bit of mystery to me.
Okay. I like that.
um, and I would like people to take the time to figure me out. There you go.
I like where you're going with that. It's everything that's like, I like it. I like it. All right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Question number 2.
Question number 2.
Mhm.
If you
Mhm.
had one place.
7. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. If you had one place that you could choose to have sex for the very last time,
Oh God.
where would it be?
Like Nova Scotia.
Why Nova Scotia though? There's always got to be a why, a reason why behind it.
It's beautiful there.
All right, sounds good. Simple enough. I mean, I can't argue with you.
The fresh air.
All right. So Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Yeah,
I can't argue with you. It's
I hear
from
you.
from the photos I've seen, it's pretty.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't really read books. I don't.
Oh no.
I don't compute words.
Oh.
I own all these shoes, but I'll tell you what, I don't fucking tie any of them.
you just buy the special edition Velcro strap.
I do. It's funny because we're sitting there, we're talking the other day. So I'm a teacher, and we're sitting there talking.
You're a teacher, and you don't read.
Yes. No, I refuse not to.
How many?
Why do you think they invented movies? Hey, let's just listen here. So this is how Nacho graduated college, was because I just happened to go to a strip club one night. And one of my classmates that I was in one of my classes with that I was struggling with was on stage. She seen me and she asked me not to tell anybody. I said, that's fine. I said, I won't. And before I could finish saying whatever, like, this is what you do, like, you do you, she's like, I'll write any papers that you need me to write you. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Here we go.
Oh my good God.
Just like she paid me off before before she even realized that I was agreeing to not.
Used to that. Poor girl. Oh my good Lord.
But that's the thing is that there's
back up. I'm saying poor girl. What were you doing at the strip club at that age?
I was over 18. I like to look at titties.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. There you
go. I mean, boobs are good.
Boobs are good.
Boobs are like Pokemon. You just want to see them all.
Okay. That's great. Speaking of Pokemon, let's move on to our cartoon battle.
You don't want your third question?
Yes, I do. Hush your.
No, you know what? I'm done. That's it. I'm done. I'm done. I quit.
It was so long that I thought that it was okay.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
And then he presented and hung his head in disappointment.
Question number 3. Oh my God.
Question number 3. Is if you could bring back anybody from the past, who happens to be passed away, so on and so forth, to have dinner with them one last time, and ask them one question
Yeah.
Who and what would that question be?
Easy peasy, my grandparents.
Okay.
Um, and I would probably ask them, oh God, why is life so fucked up? Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
agree with you more. Like,
Yeah.
and funny part is one of those things about
Because they had the
grandparents is
answer
that
for everything.
they did. They
Yeah.
had the answer for everything. And then the way they would explain it, even though it may not have
Mhm.
anything to do with what's going on today,
Yeah.
it would still make sense.
Yeah. Exactly.
I agree with
One
you.
hundo. Yeah. One hundo. Um, that was the last question, right?
Well, I mean, I can come up with more. That's all. That's all that I prepared. But if you give me a
Okay.
second,
Welcome to the dating morning show where Jennifer's interrogated. Let's move on to our a cartoon battle.
okay.
Um, Now, this might shock you, but this is the first on my list. I would love to see the Care Bears knock the ever living shit out of the Power Rangers.
Okay, Power Rangers weren't a cartoon though.
Well, they kind of were. They kind of were.
They kinda,
They kind of were.
kinda. All right. First off,
Okay.
nobody fucking cares about them Care Bears.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa.
That's not my Batman cup. Um, Care Bear stairs. It's all about that. Let me just say, everyone loves the Care Bears. I own it on DVD. Don't try to front. You know you love them.
Okay, I'll admit that I watched them growing up. But
Uh-huh.
but
See?
doesn't mean I don't like one over
See?
the other.
Yeah.
I was all about Power Rangers. Like I remember growing up, and this was back before the internet. For those youngins who are out there watching, there was things that went on before the internet where you just couldn't look up everything in an instant, or see my ugly face on your screen, or hear my voice coming through your speakers. Where we had to make phone calls on
Yeah.
fucking rotary phones,
And you have to
where you
remember the
you had to
number.
remember the fucking number, or you had to write it down somewhere,
Yeah.
where we would call stores to try
Mm.
and find whether they got the shipment of Power Ranger toys in. And then when they did, my mom and my dad, we would load up everybody in the fucking car, and we would haul ass to wherever it was to try and beat other people who might have the lead on us to get there to get the newest toys that they have, to a point that my mother, love the woman to death, is a fucking hoarder and still has all these fucking toys in her
Oh
basement.
my God. Oh my God.
And here's the deal. I don't hate the woman for it. And my brother has been smart about it more than I
Uh,
have,
uh,
to the point that, talking about Pokemon, he just went back to my mom's house,
uh,
went and found all of his old Pokemon cards,
yeah.
took, I believe it was 7 of them, sent them off, had them graded, and sent back. And 7 cards are worth over $10,000.
Stop it.
Honest to Jesus.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's insane. Well, what's first on your list? What's your number one battle?
My number one battle
Mm-hmm.
would be the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Yep.
taking on DuckTales.
Oh, snap. That is a good one. I would pay to see
Mm,
that fight. Holy shitballs. Yeah.
yes.
Wowzers.
To me,
DuckTales.
that
Woo.
woohoo, but the best spinoff from DuckTales
Mm-hmm.
is Darkwing Duck, hands down.
Darkwing Duck with the cape.
Yes.
Yeah. Was it purple? It was a purple cape.
Yep. Purple
Yeah.
Cape. Yes.
Yeah.
But yes, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus the
Very nice.
yes.
Very nice.
Mm.
Second on my list, Shira versus Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Don't say it's not a cartoon.
Well, I just, the only reason I was offended because I was so immersed into Power Rangers growing up. Like, I still have the video box set of the Green Ranger and how he came to be, going from bad to good. Like,
Wow.
yeah, that was the only reason I got offended. But I'll back it up.
Yeah, Shira versus Wonder Woman, because I love them both. I love them both, but I would be interested to see who would win in that battle.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
interessante. Number 2 for you?
Number 2 for me would have to be the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. So you got Mario and
Ooh.
Luigi
Mhm.
versus I guess, it's not a cartoon, but
That's okay. It's about it.
I'll jump on board with you.
80. Oh.
I'll follow your lead. Would be versus Elmo and Cookie Monster from Sesame Street.
Oh, wow. Look at you bringing the heavy hitters. My
Mhm.
goodness, that's a
Well, that was the thing. I wasn't allowed to watch before was able to watch cartoons.
Mhm.
I wasn't allowed to watch anything else but Sesame Street. My dad was very
Okay.
strict,
Mhm.
and it's one of those things that looking back, I didn't understand it then because I was a child. But
Mhm.
now looking back and what it offers and the things like, and seeing that I have my son watch it,
Yeah.
I see all the benefits of it. So,
I learned a lot from Sesame Street as a kid. Yeah, so the form of parenting that I was privy to was the sit you in front of the TV and ignore
mhm.
you for 9 hours.
Oh.
So I learned a lot from Sesame Street. I mean, I learned that's why I think I'm good at languages.
Well, it's one of those things where it also proves that, like Oscar, it's okay to be an asshole.
Yeah.
It is like it's one of those things where
People will still love you. Yeah, that's I
people will
know
still
people
love you even if you're an asshole, and that's one of those things. Like there's sometimes I'm referred to as asshole more than Nacho.
Oh, so that's your old nickname.
Yeah, it's one of them.
Okay, got it. Number 3 on my list, Fred Flintstone versus Yogi Bear.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Huh?
I really like that one. Even though, and I it's funny because when you say these, I think
Mhm.
in my head, like, how would it really go down? Like, how would this fight go? I ended up thinking, and I look at it as like a professional wrestling match. So you got them both
Mhm.
coming into the ring, and
Yep.
of course, Yogi's got his basket.
Oh,
Yogi's got his basket.
he ain't going nowhere without that basket.
No, and he doesn't have to go under the ring to find a foreign object.
Nope.
He's already got help with him. He's in the basket, and it's Boo Boo. So Fred's going down in that situation because all he's gonna go is hey hey Boo Boo, and then the smack's coming.
Love it. I love it. And I'm a huge wrestling fan too, 80s wrestling fan. So
See, 80s to the end of the Attitude Era was the best of
yes.
wrestling. The
Yes.
Attitude Era. And now if there are some people that are in it now that if they were back in the Attitude Era, I think would have done very, very well.
Mhm.
But how culture has become and everything has to, you have to, cross your T's, dot your I's, and
Mm.
your lowercase J's.
Everyone's a snowflake, right? Yeah.
Not everybody's a snowflake. Don't get me wrong. Like everybody's allowed to have feelings and express them and so
Yeah,
on
yeah,
and so
yeah.
forth. But it comes with a situation where that,
Gets a little carried away sometimes.
yes, it does
Yeah. Yeah.
completely.
What's number 3 on your list?
Number 3 on my list would be simple enough: Spider-Man
Mhm.
versus Aquaman from the Super Friends.
Ooh, interessante. Hmm. Would the fight be on land or water?
We don't know
We don't know. Wowzers.
exactly.
Incredible. Those are some pretty good lineups. I mean, I don't know if Netflix is interested in hosting that, but
There would be no chill. There would be no chill.
there would be no chill. A rumor has it, sir, you have a tip of the day.
Oh well, I mean, it's just the tip.
Just the tip. Yeah.
No, just to see what it's like. So my tip of the day, and
Mhm.
if you haven't noticed throughout this entire episode, I am a man of like a million one-liners. Um,
Mhm.
a lot of them, I try to be funny. A lot of them, I try to be serious.
Mhm.
Um, my tip of the day, and it's a saying that comes back from when I was in high school. It's the idea. It was said every morning in our morning announcements by my favorite teacher, Mr. David Kulo.
Mhm.
Um, it was make it a great day or not. The choice is yours.
Ooh.
Now, don't get me wrong. And you look at yes, everybody has the choice to have a good day.
Mhm.
The idea of having a good day. I'm not saying that you always have to be happy. I'm not saying you always have to be positive. I'm not saying you always have to be okay with everything that goes on in your world.
Mhm.
You're allowed to be pissed off. You're allowed to have a bad day. You're
Mhm.
allowed to hate the fucking world. You're allowed to hate other people. Um, but the idea is you have that choice.
Mm.
At the end of the day, if you've gone through it, can you say that you had a good day with all those emotions that have encompassed your day?
Hmm.
You should be able to. It's your choice. And to me, you shouldn't really go to bed without having a good day. They say don't go to bed, fighting with your significant other. But to
Angry, yeah.
me, can you go to bed saying you had a good day? It's your choice to know whether you had a good day or not.
I love
But at
that.
the same time, you can wake up the next day. It's a new chance. It's a new opportunity.
I love that. I always say we don't always have a choice we like, but we always have a choice.
Oh, I agree.
So I love
And
that.
and the idea of having a good day, it's one of those things that I talk about. I mentioned you don't always have to have you aren't always going to be happy.
Yeah, you
The
can't be
best, the
positive Polly all the time.
No, and sometimes you have to eat a shit sandwich in order to enjoy a grilled cheese.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah, you do.
and
Yeah.
that's what it comes down to. And it's you're not always going to have the best in life, but you're going to deal with it. You got to get over it. You keep moving on.
I
I don't know. It's hard to I say give one tip, but if I had to give one tip, it's
Yeah.
that one because I can just lead into more lines. It's just
Have a great day or
make
not.
it a great day
Make it a great day
or not.
or not.
The choice is
The
yours.
choice is yours. I love that. Nacho, this has been a fabulous show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining me today and being here. I've had a lot of fun. I don't know if I'm going to get fined for the number of swear words we've used today. We'll find that out later. But
Well, if you're wondering, I can put my Cash App. We can put it in the description so people can just start sending us funds.
donate.
Um, and then what we'll do is we'll basically start almost like a swear jar
Yeah,
in preparation for me to come back.
I love it. I love it. It's been so fun having you. I love that you participated in the show today. Thank you so much for
Well,
being here. And oh,
thank
by
you
the
for
way,
having me.
before I forget, tell Josh I said hi.
Oh, for sure. He's actually coming over to pick me up,
Oh, sweet.
and we're going to go have a few beers, watch some Ryan Reynolds movies, and play after that. So
Cool. Sounds good. Well, he's such a great guy. Josh is a good guy.
yes, he is. It's not bad. He can be an asshole sometimes, but again, Oscar taught
Well, he's
us
never
we
been an
all can
asshole
be.
to me, so I
Well, and
mean,
that's all that matters.
yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. And I mean, I have to take Josh's word over everything. So
Mm, yeah, you're right.
thanks again for joining me. I hope everybody's enjoyed the show and have a great week. And we will post this up and people can comment. We want to make sure to remind people to comment, subscribe, share,
Yes,
follow. Yeah, I think that's about it.
that's it.
And tell everybody where they can find your podcast.
You can find me on YouTube, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live.
Yep.
If you want to follow me because right now I'm only at a few subscribers, so I haven't been able to
Yeah.
get the specialized URL yet.
Yeah.
So you can either go to tinyurl.com/nacho AVG podcast, or you can follow me on TikTok and Instagram at that.nacho.
Sweet.
And all of them are all intertwined. So
Awesome. Well, thanks again for joining me. You have a great week. And everybody else watching and listening, I hope you have a great week. We'll see you later.
you too. Thanks for having me. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.